we're doing here is actually building a system for treating sewage, treating domestic sewage. But it's a system we have developed here to take advantage of our tropical climate. So we actually treat sewage. There's absolutely no residue that gets in contact with the soil or that has to go somewhere else. Most of the water gets evaporated and actually produces bananas, which is a very smart and economic way of turning a resource or turning a usual problem into a resource. You know, most people see the problem of domestic waste as a problem, and it's not a problem. It's just a huge opportunity that we lose billions of dollars around the world for not looking at this opportunity as such and thinking that that's a problem. And we're using very simple materials. Volunteers and students are doing that, are learning how to do that in their own communities, and they are going to probably reproduce many of those systems around Brazil and even outside of Brazil, as we have some foreigners here too. This is the kind of example of the things we do around here. We try to develop a technology that is accessible, that has no control over, no patent, and becomes accessible to anyone that wants to reproduce it and recognize it as a solution. This is also one of the treatment units that we have here to treat our liquid waste. It's a root zone, basically aquatic plants grown in a gravel base. There's a lot of these filters everywhere, cells, they're living cells that purify the water so that we can reuse the water in our gardens and keep circulating water all the time. All the people over there, they are learning a technique of building that can be used for building these things. It's ferrous cement, can hold water in an economic way, and we teach them to also capture rainwater so that they can have safer water to drink, which is something many people actually don't question themselves about. Oh, this is a coffee plant. There you go. Look at this, guys. Yeah, we grow our own coffee, and we enjoy that. We're actually getting very maniacal about that because we're selecting specialty coffees just to drink here. This is coffee, and we have it everywhere. It's a very coffee. You know, it needs to be roasted. Now it's actually overripe, this one, but it's an excellent food forest plant because it grows in the shade and it likes the shade.
So this food forest was created by chickens, and we use chickens in a rotational method to revive the soil because the soil was completely destroyed when we arrived.
What were they doing here?
They were, the soil was destroyed by cattle. It was 20 years of cattle, so it was highly stomped. It was compacted soil. So we brought in the chickens, and the chickens helped turn the soil, and we planted trees. And it was in a rotational method that while we were planting, the trees were growing, we were also growing vegetables. So the chickens would pass in one area, move on, we would plant vegetables. They would move on to the next area, we would plant vegetables, and continue. You can see the difference of where the chickens were mixing the soil to where the chickens weren't. The trees are very small, and the nitrogen from the chicken poop, you know, made the trees grow extra fast. So this is a food forest of roughly 7 years. We have jackfruit, we have coffee, mango, we have various Brazilian palm trees, some that are for oil, some that are for nuts. And we have a ground cover as well, and the ground cover is really important. The ground cover gives you your carbon, you know, releases carbon into the soil for the trees to redigest. And the beauty of a food forest is that you're creating a forest that you can actually eat. And in the new climatic changes, food forests are going to be more and more important because we don't know what will happen to our vegetables with this new climatic changes, but we know the trees are much sturdier, and as long as they get to flower and the bees survive, we'll have lots of fruit. And then naturally we'll have to change our diets in a new climatic change. We'll have to become more fruitarians. And maybe that's going back to the original human, the hunter and gatherer, because a lot of our crops will not survive extreme heat or extreme cold, extreme winds or extreme water. But trees will survive that. Trees are much more sturdier. They're solid, they're grounded.
These people here are building a portal. We actually open a new area into the forest without cutting any trees. We're building 4 little homes for guests and for people that live here. And they're doing this portal using a technique that's called super adobe. It's one of my favorite building methods. It was developed by Nadia Khalili, and it really is very versatile. And people love it. Architects love it, love learning how to do that. So that's going to be just the entrance to the new cluster of homes.